I was born in 2004, but that was a good year to be born. I grew up on good toys, good electronics, and banger TV shows. But the shows that came before me, I didn't watch. But the beautiful thing about the late 2000s and 2010s were reruns channels would have. Like on Disney, there was The Proud Family, Nickelodeon had Zoe 101, and Cartoon Network had Codename Kids Next Door. But one Nick show that never had a rerun, well, at least to my knowledge, was The Romeo Show. Hey guys, it's Lazandria X, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. And of course, in today's video, we're going to talk about The Romeo or The Romeo Show. I feel like a lot of people actually don't know The Romeo Show or Romeo, so let's just get into some information about it. So what is Romeo? Romeo or The Romeo Show is a teen sitcom that aired on Nickelodeon from September 13, 2003 to July 23, 2006, totaling 53 episodes in 3 seasons. The filming was done in Vancouver, British Columbia, while the show takes place in Seattle, Washington. The show stars Louisiana-based rapper Romeo as a fictionalized version of himself known as Ro. Reruns aired on Nickelodeon until October 4, 2007, and on BET, MTV2, and The N until December 26, 2008. Now, the premise of the show is Romeo Miller raps in a band called Pieces of the Puzzle along with his 3 siblings. His father, Master P or Percy Miller, who is a record producer, provides guidance along with Romeo's stepmother and nanny. Now, as I said in the intro, to my knowledge, I didn't know that The Romeo Show had reruns, okay? And upon doing research for the show, no wonder why I never knew that The Romeo Show existed, because they stopped airing reruns for it on Nickelodeon on October the 4th, 2007. Mind you, I was only 3 years old. And when I was 3 years old, I was not watching Nickelodeon. I was watching Dora the Explorer. And stuff on like PBS Kids, like Sesame Street. So I was not watching anything on Nickelodeon. And so Nickelodeon had cut off the reruns for Romeo very early on, to the point where I was a kid who never knew about The Romeo Show. And I actually didn't find out about The Romeo Show until around last year. I think I saw something about Symphonique and something about a correlation of Master P's kids having television shows on Nick, like Symphonique having How to Rock, which I did watch that show as a kid, and I actually made like a crossover episode video. I wrote a crossover episode between How to Rock and Victorious like a couple years ago. I'll leave that link in the cards for you guys so y'all can go check that out. And then Romeo with his self-titled show. But I never knew that Romeo had his own show. I had reviewed another project Romeo was in on this channel before for the movie Jumping the Broom. But to all of my people in the US, the video is actually unavailable to you all because YouTube actually blocked that video from my channel for copyright reasons. So if you want to see my first retrospective, go to my Patreon and become a gold member, because the video is 1 hour, 1 minute, and 1 second long. But if you're viewing my channel from outside of the US, so literally anywhere outside of the United States, this video, the Jumping the Broom retrospective, is on the channel. It's called Jumping the Broom, a deep dive analyze retrospective, or you can go under the playlist Lazandria's favorite videos, and you can find that video there. Okay, now enough with all the self-promo, and let's get into the actual episode recap. So the episode starts out with the kids in the kitchen all silent, and their nanny, Miss Bloom, comes into the kitchen, but she can sense that the kids are up to no good. It takes a while, but all in all, she gets splashed and sprayed in the face with water from the sink and leaves the residence.
Hey, roll, watch it flow. It's time for the Romeo Show. Holla, Romeo's on now. Romeo's on now. Stop what you're doing, cause Romeo's on now.
Ready to rumble, miss it like gumbo. The Romeo Show, competition I crumble. I mean I can't be stopped. I will not quit, cause me and the man make straight up hits. So adi.
Can I just say, this theme song is so fire and authentically 2003. It just sounds like 2003. I know the show was made in that year, but you know what I'm trying to say, y'all. But this theme song is just a banger. Like, I just have to get up and dance every single time I hear it. It's just a 10 out of 10 theme song. Like, it's so good. After the theme song, we see the kids in the garage working on a song. Romeo cuts and says that Jody was a little late on the hook, but Jody says that she was perfect. Then the neighbor girl Myra comes into the garage. Gary says that only family is allowed, but Myra doesn't include Lewis to be a part of the family, but he is because he's been with the family for 2 years. Romeo tries to make Myra leave. He touches her and she freaks out about it. Their dad tells her that she's not supposed to be anywhere near the house because they have a restraining order on her. Master P talks to the kids and asks them why they keep running away all the nannies, but it's because the kids want to be on the road with him. But Master P stresses that they should really only be focusing on school and getting good grades. Jody says that they know that's why they moved from LA to Seattle, but he still doesn't agree, and now he, Master P, is on the hunt for looking for a new nanny. In the next scene, Romeo is talking with Lewis about how they really need to become popular before they get old. They are listening to DJ Smooth on the radio, and then they get an idea. Next scene over, it's time to interview the other nannies, and it's not going so well. But the boys in the meantime made it down to the radio station and they asked to see DJ Smooth, but the officer doesn't have their names on the list, obviously, but they, the boys, are trying everything they can to get in. As the officer is in the midst of talking, it cuts to this animation of Romeo's imagination in the video game he plays, and I honestly think that's a really cool aspect of the television show. But back at home, everyone is exhausted from the interviews. But then the doorbell rings and it's a lady named Miss Rogers. She comes in and is just babbling at the mouth. Back at the radio station, the boys sneak into DJ Smooth's set and realizes that DJ Smooth isn't a real person, so the boys take full advantage of that. So the boys got caught and Master P is reprimanding them. Miss Rogers is there and insists on the grounding, and the boys, Romeo and Lewis, are grounded for 2 weeks. Later in the episode, Lewis is outside playing basketball and gets interrupted in his daydream by Myra. Myra calls for Romeo, but the reason she's over there is because she called the radio station 99 times to play the kids a song, and she wants to take full advantage of that. But Miss Rogers let them know that they can't perform the song because 2 out of the 4 kids are being grounded. Later, Master P is talking with Miss Rogers, and she allowed the boys to do the performance, but she tells him the reason she did so was because the kids want to follow, more specifically Romeo wants to follow in his father's footsteps, and it wouldn't be normal if they wouldn't want to make their father proud.
Hey, who's paying my phone bill?
Then the kids perform.
Come to spinning, he don't track. Treat him like you wanna be treated. Can't be defeated, y'all haters need to act like Mike to beat it.
At the end of the episode, Romeo pulls the same prank on Miss Rogers as he did Miss Bloom. Okay, so this show as a pilot episode, I think it's meh. I think it's a very mid pilot episode. I think outside of the theme song, nothing about this episode stands out to me too much. And I just want to talk about a production thing that the Romeo show made. I know like it was produced by Master P himself and of course other Nickelodeon people, but the thing is, I don't know why. So like I said at the beginning of the video, this show was shot in Vancouver, British Columbia, and as we can see the shots, it was actually filmed on actual location. It wasn't a set. It's not a multicam. And the thing I don't like about this show, and I don't think it works for the Romeo show, is the laugh track. Like, the laugh track is just so distracting to the actual show. I think it actually takes away from what we're watching. Like, yes, it's a kid's show. And like I said, what I did like about the Romeo show to kind of add in, since there is no laugh track, was the animation aspect of the show, of the game that Romeo plays. And it kind of adds like a counterbalance from like the way it's filmed and the scenery of it all, the quality. And I think that the show really could have worked with some of Scott Fellows' thing. I think they really should have gotten in contact with Scott Fellows, because this show came out the year before Ned's Declassified did, and I can honestly see this show having the wacky sound effects to it. Like, I think that this show could work with wacky sound effects. Now, of course, Scott Fellows and those people with Nessa Classified and Big Time Rush, they definitely take it over the top. With the sound effects, sometimes it can definitely be over the top. But I do think that this show definitely could have benefited from something of that nature because it just lacked so much. But this show also didn't need a laugh track because I think the laugh track just takes away from the actual story that the show Romeo wants to play. Or it could have been filmed kind of like a fake reality TV show in a kind of way, or like a slice of life situation, which, I mean, it is a slice of life, but more of it if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. Like, are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? And also, Master P's acting was kind of weird in this. I don't know. Maybe he was still trying to get into acting himself for the sake of the show and with Romeo for his son. I'm not too certain, but I will say, like, his acting was definitely like kind of off in this. I don't know if it felt unnatural for him or if this was his first time doing it or he was still in the process of taking his acting classes. Don't ask me because I am not too certain. But I will say, from a 21-year-old lens, I feel like I definitely would want to cut on the Romeo show. Not necessarily to get a wave of nostalgia, but it kind of, the Romeo show, I can see this show being someone's comfort show. You know how people have their comfort shows, like, you know, maybe Hey Arnold or Total Trauma, or even like iCarly is a comfort show for a lot of people. But I can definitely see the Romeo show being somebody's comfort show and just wanting that wave of nostalgia. So honestly, from my lens today as an adult, I can see myself cutting on YouTube just to have the Romeo show on for background noise, or if I genuinely just want to just watch something that's not adulty and just kind of like go back to a time that I wasn't born in, I would definitely cut on the Romeo show. Now, if I was alive in 2003 and saw the Romeo show for the first time as a kid, let's pretend I'm like between the ages of 5 to 8 years old, watching the Romeo show for the first time and watching that first episode, I would definitely love this show. I know I would. Even right now, that it's not my favorite thing in the world, but I still wouldn't mind cutting on the Romeo show. I feel like as a child, I definitely would have loved the Romeo show. And if you guys haven't seen my video about talking about black media is important, I'll leave that link in the cards for you guys as well. But because when I was a kid, I talked about growing up in a predominantly white school, and just seeing a show like that with a majority black cast would already have my interest. And everything about the show is just like so cool, and I love everything about it. So I just think I would have no choice but to cut on the Romeo show just to get, like, I guess my fix of black entertainment for kids, like, if that makes sense. Like, is that for like lack of better words, guys? But yeah, I definitely would love to watch the Romeo show. Now, mind you, I've only watched the very first episode because that's what I'm doing for these videos, only watching the pilot episode to see if I would watch it further. But I do think that I could probably come back with you guys with a retrospective or some kind of Romeo video where I can talk about this show if I sit down and watch all 3 seasons. Now, mind you, I did read in the Wikipedia they do eventually get a stepmother, but of course I don't get all of that in the first episode. So time will only tell, but let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the Romeo show. Did you watch it growing up? Did you ever catch the reruns? Did you just find out about it through my video? Have you known about it but just never seen it? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, especially subscribe, and I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.